Hi everybody. Okay, let me just check that everyone can see the video. I think you can. Flip. Hi sup. Welcome to the third masterclass for today. I think today's class will be the most interesting one because today we start to do all the real stuff. Right. So in the first class we set up our MetaMask. We figured out how to use CoinGecko debank, CoinMarketCap a little bit. Right. The second class we learned how to lend. And for today's class, we're going to learn how to swap, right, which brings us to Uniswap, Sushiswap, Curve.fi, right, and then we'll also look at some of the other DEX aggregators. We will learn how to yield farm. So there's quite a lot of things on the menu. I'm going to get started. Right, so the first thing you want to do is you want to go to DBank, right, where it's like our DeFi front page, and then go to ranking. Right, so this is what we did for lending. Right, when we wanted to check for lending, we came here to see what the biggest protocols were. Right, and this will be the same for uh, exchange as well. So if you go and look at exchange, there are some things that you can that's quite interesting. The first thing is that um, is Uniswap curve. Synthetics is kind of different, so we will leave it for maybe another class. Right? But Uniswap, Curve, 1inch, and Sushiswap, these are the ones that are typical for exchanges, right? And we'll first go through Curve because Curve is a really special beast. So the thing about Curve, Curve looks like this 1950s kind of layout. Every single time we connect with MetaMask, right? And then now that we've connected with MetaMask, the idea of Curve is that Curve is the best place for you to switch, for you to swap huge amounts of stable coins, right? So Curve has built its entire business model on exchanging stable coins. Stable coins, if you remember from the other class, is that, wait, hold on, let me change the music a little bit. Play something different. All right. So the thing about the thing about stable coins is that they try to stick to $1, right? So the idea is that most of the stable coins should at any one point of time be quite close to each other in value such that they can swap with each other, right? So how Curve does it is that they allow you to put in tokens based on pools. So for example, pool number 0 is with DAI and USDC. Sorry, is with compound DAI and compound USDC, right? So the C is compound DAI, right? Or for example, 3 pool, which is one of the most famous ones, is between DAI, USDC, and USDT. And the idea for this is that you put in your DAI or your USDC and your USDT, you put in either one of the inputs, and then this is your APY. You get 0.95% from the trading fees, right? And then you get about 17.25% to 43% from CRV. And CRV is the kind of the crop, not crop. CRV is kind of like the farming output. So if you put stuff, you put like DAI, USDC or USDT inside, you're gonna get CRV, right? You're gonna be able to farm CRV. The idea about each pool having different APYs like the annual yield, annual return that you get, is that they're all different, right? They're all different because if you put your DAI, let's see, if you put where the DAIs one. For example, this one is the standard one, free pool, right? So it's DAI, USDC, USDT. If you add GUSD in there, you're adding additional risk. You're adding additional risk because you don't know how safe GUSD is, right? So if you put GUSD in there, you are kind of saying that, hey, GUSD is going to be the same price as the other three, DAI, USDC, and USDT. Right? What this also means that is that these coins that you put in, the more coins that you allow in the pool, the more APY you are supposed to receive because you are absorbing the additional risk from having one additional coin in there. So the idea is that if I put in as many DAI as I want, right, I'm gonna get this receipt. So let me open this, right? So if I want to deposit, what I do, right, from Curve.fi page, you can click this three thingy and say I want to deposit to 3 pool, which is the one that I've been talking about, right? And then here you have all these on the ribbon on the top, right? You go to deposit. And then here they allow you to deposit coins based on the inputs that they allow for each coin, right? And then below you can see the currency reserve, right? So this pool is huge. This pool they have $668 million worth of stable coins in this pool, right? So if, for example, I put $68 million, which is 10% of this pool, if I put in like or if I own 68, if I own 10% of this pool, then I'm going to get this receipt that says like, hey, I own 10% of this pool. So as people start switching and exchanging, right, they earn some transaction fees and the pool gets bigger and bigger, but you still own the same amount. You own 10% of the pool, right? So then when you withdraw how much you think, how much it has expanded to. So that's how you make your money. Another thing you want to take note is that the fees for using Curve is really, really low. So when you use Curve is like a great place if you want to swap stablecoin and if you want to swap a lot of stablecoin, right? But you can see that the fees are low. The fees earned will be low because the liquidity utilization is only 8%, meaning to say at any one point of time, about they can go by with just 8% of the money in there. There's way too much money in there. Right, so the yields are depressed. All right. So for example, I want to put in like 1,000 DAI, and then I want to put in like 2,000 USDC, right, 3,000 USDT. So in total, I'm putting about 6,000 coins, and then I get this amount of LP tokens. LP is short form for liquidity provision or liquidity providing, right? So LP is short form for liquidity provision or liquidity providing, right? And that means you're basically like you're funding it for them. All right, and then you can deposit. The issue about Curve, if you want to use Curve, if you want to deposit Curve, okay, I can't deposit because I don't have all these. All right, I'm showing you how to do it. Okay, and then you will be earning crypto, and this is how your crypto is gonna look. Let's see. Let's see if they have Curve. This is not my portfolio. It's a demo. It would be nice to have $600 billion. Curve. So this is how it will look on DBank. So if you don't remember, DBank is our kind of accounts, our bank account program, right? It allows us to look at all the data in our address, in a simple manner. And these guys, what they did is that they have $13,000 worth, in the BUSD pool. So BUSD pool is here. Where is it? Here. All right. And then they have in the compound pool, they have $4 million, right? So on and so forth. And how we know about this is that, when you deposit tokens in, they're going to give you an LP token. And this LP token is basically a receipt, right, of your deposit. And then we can track from the receipt of the deposit how much is the APY, how much is this current value of the receipt deposit, so on and so forth. Right? So these guys, they have like a ton. They've got like, yeah, they've got a ton. Wow. And this is a demo account. All right. So what interests you in Curve is that if you are a millionaire, then Curve is like the best place for you to trade. For example, 1 million, how much is this? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 million DAI to USDC, right? And the slippage is almost nothing, which is impressive. If you're gonna do this on Binance, I mean not Binance, but if you're gonna do this on any centralized exchange, 1 million it may move the order book a little bit, but for Curve, because the order book, because the liquidity provision is so high, you don't really see this kind of slippage, right? So that's the special thing about Curve. And then on top of Curve, right, the problems with Curve you can see is quite specific, is that unless you have exactly the token that you want to swap, which is within within the pools, you can't swap it. So for example, if you want to buy this token called ABC token, right? But if Curve doesn't have ABC token in any of the pools, you can't swap it, right? So the long tail of all crypto exchanges, DEXs would be considered Uniswap and Sushiswap, right? So Uniswap allows for trading. So you go to uniswap.org, click Uniswap, right, and then it brings you here. Uniswap allows for trading for almost any single kind of coin, right? The idea is the same. You connect to a wallet, connect to your MetaMask, all right? So it's kind of your logging in. We've done this a lot of times, okay? And then if you want to swap, let's say we want to swap DAI to USDC, which is exactly what we were trying to do just now. And I want to swap 1 million of it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right, look, I end up with 973,000 USDC, but on Curve, I I actually have more than a million, right? So like positive slippage. Um, so it only matters if you're like trading $1 million at a time, which for the purpose of this class, I don't think is applicable. Right. So if you have any questions now for Curve, now would be a good time to ask because we're going to be moving on to Uniswap, Sushiswap, and then like yield farming. So Uniswap, this is the front end. This is like the landing page for the swapping. Right. Key stuff that I look at is always that I make sure that when I'm keying something into Uniswap, right? Say I'm keying AVE, I want to make sure that it's in here, right? I want to make sure that it's in here. I want to make sure that uh, something red doesn't pop up. Because for example, if I just randomly put in some, the idea is because anybody can upload a token onto Uniswap, right? There is no like due diligence. There's nobody protecting anybody, right? It's like the Wild West. So the idea is that if you want to find a token, make sure that it is within the list. So this is the list. You can manage the list, kind of choose from all the others. So you can manage the list, for example, go on CoinGecko, turn it on, all right, and then go back, and then all the CoinGecko tokens will be here, right, or the 1,000 plus CoinGecko tokens. The thing is you're trading directly, right? There is no like exchange or no listing department of an exchange to say like, oh, this is definitely the coin that we are supposed to be trading for. So anybody can come up with another token with exactly the same name, right? And what stops people from being tricked is the address. So when you go to CoinGecko, say we find like a coin that none of us have ever heard of before, say like Armor. Oh fuck. Shit, Esmond. And then say you go to Armor and then you you want to buy armor, but you don't know where to buy armor from. So you want to check Uniswap. The first thing you can do is like go there and like type ARMOR. Okay, it's here. But if it wasn't here, right, let me find. If it wasn't here, then you can come to CoinGecko, copy the contract, okay, and then paste the address of the contract, and choose the token. So let me find one that doesn't work. Let's see, what's this GeoDB? Okay, so GeoDB, never heard of it. Wow, welcome to crypto. GeoDB, and then you wanna buy GeoDB. So I wanna buy like Ethereum. I wanna swap it to GeoDB because it's been mooning so much. You type GeoDB. Oh, it's also here. Okay. Anyway, or you can put the address and then you can get in. The thing about this is because I allowed CoinGecko. If I didn't allow CoinGecko, then it probably wouldn't be there. So for example, if I do this, and then yeah, now I need to import it. So if you put in the contract address from CoinGecko, 99.9% sure you're going to be correct, right? Then you just import it. And then from here, look, because you're importing a token, Uniswap is telling you like, hey, I don't know who owns this token, right? Just trade at your own risk. Make sure you understand. And this is the warning sign for it. All right, I understand, blah, blah, blah. So then these are the kind of things that I'll be looking for. Is the first thing I want to look at the price impact. Right? Anything more than 0.1% is way too high. Right? And in this case, the price impact is 65%, 68%. It means that if I trade like, look, I trade 1 million, it means that you lose 68% of your value straight away, right? Because the liquidity is simply not there. So if you want to see something that has good liquidity, for example, you should look at DAI and Ethereum. Right, the price impact is 1.3%. Oh, because I'm trading 1 million. If I'm say like trading 1,000, then the price impact is really low. So the amount you're trading also affects the price impact. And why is this so? This is because Uniswap and Sushiswap, they are both AMMs, which you'll see quite often in automated market makers. And the idea about automated market makers is that the idea about automated market maker is that let me find the graph here. I just want to show you the graph. We don't need to look at the mathematics. This is the graph behind the automated market maker, right? The idea is that if you're going, because we're having, when we put tokens into the pool, we put them in separate, because when we put the tokens in, let's see, right? Look, it's between DAI and Ethereum. So DAI and Ethereum are both your components. Right, hold on a second, my stuff got tangled. Okay, so both DAI and Ethereum are your components, right? So if you want to put something into the pool, right, you come here, you click pool, and then you put like add liquidity. You only add stuff based on like with two components, right? It's always a pair. You always add stuff according to a pair. So for example, if I want to add Ethereum and DAI, or Ethereum and USDC, right? If I add one Ethereum, then I need to add 1,621 USDC, right? The reason why you have to put one Ethereum and 1,621 USDC is because right now, one Ethereum is worth 1,621 USDC. Right? So you need to put stuff in, you need to put the pair in according to the value of them. And right now, one Ethereum is exactly equivalent to 1620.75 USDC. So you put both of them in at the same time, right? You put both of them in at the same time as a pair, right? So the idea is that, you're joining this pool, right, with equal components, right? And then when you join the pool with equal components, what they're saying is that if at any one point of time, say a lot of people end up buying Ethereum from the pool, right? So the amount of USDC goes up and the amount of Ethereum goes down because people are buying more Ethereum. And so what happens is that you would move along the curve such that the price would change, okay? And at any one point of this curve, right? If you take 20 divide by where it is on on this graph, you will get the price, right? So the idea is that we need the value of both to be equal. And if one is being bought away by a lot, then the other one, the price has to change such that the values will be equal. And how will this value change is based on the supply that is within the pool. Because when you enter the pool, you always have to add both of the same value. And when you remove from the pool, you always have to remove both of the same value, right? So how is this value calculated is the interaction between the supply of both tokens, okay? It doesn't matter if you don't understand it now, because we will go through some stuff and then it will get clearer when we're yield farming and stuff. So here I will put in one Ethereum, I get 1,620 USDC. Both of them at the same time, I will enter into the liquidity pool. Okay, and then once you enter the liquidity pool, this is what you're going to get. Let me show you. Oh, I see we have some questions. Oh. Curve plus point is the amount of liquidity they have. Anything else like security versus yen? Yeah, Curve has been pretty safe. Uh, in fact, every time some people get hacked, they usually use Curve to switch the tokens or to use it for hacking. So, for example, the yen DAI exploit that happened this week, I think like $11 million got drained. I think $11 million got drained, and out of $11 million, 3.5 million ended up in Curve because they use Curve to do the switching, to do the swapping. So Curve earns the transaction fee. I think Curve earned the transaction fee. I didn't really go and look at the report. So actually Curve is like, it's really popular with people who are trying to change a lot of money. And one of the places where you're trying to trade a lot of money is when you hack like 11 million, then of course you need to go and do something about it. Yes. Okay, where was I? So then you want to add liquidity. I've already shown you how to add liquidity. You find the token. Most of the time when you add liquidity on Uniswap, you have to add it with Ethereum, right? If you add it with anything else, it doesn't really make much sense unless you specifically see that it makes much sense. So you go to charts, right? Over here, you go to charts, right? And say we want to look at Armor, right? Because I saw Esmond talking about Armor. So we go to Armor, copy the contract, go over to Uniswap info, which is where we click charts over here. Go to Uniswap info, and then we put. All right, yes, I understand. This is again, they're telling you like, hey, there are many fake versions of existing tokens. Please be careful. So always use the address. I mean, I always use the address. I don't just type Armor because I don't know which Armor is going to come out. Right, so it's kind of dangerous. I use the contract, and then so this gives me the kind of information I will need before deciding whether I want to liquidity provide for this. The first thing you want to know is that there is kind of strength in numbers. So Armor is being traded with Ethereum and Armor is traded with DAI. So if you put like Armor WBTC, maybe it doesn't make much sense because if you put like 2,000 Armor and $2,000 worth of Armor in WBTC in there, right? Anybody that wants to trade more than $2,000 cannot go through you, right? And even so, they usually cannot get all $2,000 away, because remember I show you this curve, is that if they have if 2,000 is your maximum liquidity, and if somebody just takes all $2,000 away, it means that you're pushing the price all the way up to the top. So because the price will be pushed all the way up to the top because the liquidity utilization is at the maximum, nobody will want to do it, right? So in the end, you will be liquidity providing for a trade that doesn't for a pair that doesn't make sense. So you want to check what else is already being provided? So in the case of Armor and Ethereum and Armor and DAI are being provided. You can see the fees, 24 hours fees. So just for this trading pair, they earn 11,419. Right? And where the trading fees come from is that every time you switch, every time you trade, I think you have to pay 0.6% fees. So 0.6% is quite high, right? If you go to a centralized exchange, it is usually 0.1%, right? And 0.6% is even before paying gas fees. So gas fees you have to pay, which is separate. Gas fees you pay to Ethereum network, and then trading fees you pay to Uniswap, which Uniswap will then take and pay the liquidity providers, right? And how the liquidity providers will receive this 0.6% is that they will have more and more Armor and more Ethereum in this pool if the prices are ceteris paribus, right? So if the prices are the same, then every time someone trades, they give 0.6% extra, and these all add up into the liquidity provision pool. Yeah. Um, what else? Yeah, and of course you have to look at the liquidity. So you want to make sure that it's on millions, right? When it's not at millions, it usually tells me a couple of things. Number one, uh, it's a scam coin, be careful. Number two, there is maybe an incentivized program on another exchange, like Sushiswap, such that everyone just migrated their money there because they don't make any money here. So incentive programs are basically farming, right, which we will go through soon. We have to go through the basics first. Yeah. And then the third thing I look at is when I come down here, I want to look at the transactions just to see, are people swapping the last few transactions? Are people swapping? How far spaced out are the transactions? Right? The amounts that are being swapped. I mean, if I come here and I just see remove, then I know, okay, something is going on. I better don't add liquidity when everyone else is removing, because strength in numbers, right? If everyone's like add, yeah, then okay, sure, let's go with it. Okay, but in this case, it's kind of stable. Most people are swapping. Yes. Okay. So since we're on this page, we might as well go through some of the other stuff as well. Um, Here you can see kind of the health of Uniswap. So some people are asking me why the price of Uni tokens just flying through the roof recently. You can see that the liquidity is insane. This is 9 billion. Sorry, 3 billion, which is 9 digits, I think. Yeah. So the amount of liquidity that's in here is insane, right? And if you look at the volume that's going on, 24-hour volume in Ethereum is $800 million. These are numbers that are really hard to fathom, right? They're quite big numbers. What I like to see as well are like the top tokens here. Like if I see a token that I don't recognize, like Wise token, I'll be like, okay, what's going on here? And then first thing, always look at the price. Let's see. Oh yes, I need to understand. And then look at the price. You see, so this guy, Wise, right, is Wise Ethereum and Wise USDT. But some guy went to add like $100 liquidity of Wise USDT. And like there will never be any volume of it because like no one would trade $100, right? And if anyone traded $100, it also wouldn't work. So then you see this poor guy, he doesn't get any fees. And this was my point of just now is that you need to kind of like so when I look at something like this, I see $220 million of a token that I've never heard before. I think to myself, there must be some crazy yield farm going on. Right? There must be some incentive scheme going on that can get so many people to participate in this. So let's go check it out. I don't know what's going on here. Wise. Do a little bit of sleuthing. Wise token. So maybe people are attracted to the total ROI. That's not a lot though. So I have to go read into it, but I don't know why they're like top few now. Yeah. Okay. Back. And then overview, we've gone through. Oh, interestingly, these are the pairs, the top pairs for liquidity. And interestingly, WBTC Ethereum is the first, right? Because everybody owns WBTC and everybody owns Ethereum. As in like WBTC is wrapped BTC. I think we've gone through this before. So everyone owns BTC and they wrap it to go and get the DeFi earnings, which is this, and then they all have Ethereum. So they don't mind holding WBTC and Ethereum, right? They put it together in Uniswap and then they do liquidity provision and they're earning about 27% per year, which is not bad considering that you're going to hold them anyway, right? Um, yeah. And then interestingly, the second thing I want to point out is USDC Ethereum, right? Even though both of them are tokens that you don't mind holding, right? The fees, the liquidity amount is less. And why the liquidity amount is less? Also partially because having Ethereum USDC is not the best idea, right? Because Ethereum is something that would move in value, right? But USDC, the value is supposed to be $1 all the time, right? So as one is going up and the other one stays constant, what happens is that when you trade it, when you put both in, you put like one Ethereum 1,600 USDC. And then when the price of Ethereum goes up to like 2,000, right? The protocol, once you remove it, they need to make sure that you remove the same value, right? So as the price of Ethereum is going up, you are kind of not in a permanent fashion selling your Ethereum for more USDC so that USDC can catch up. But the thing is, USDC is never going to change in price, right? Assuming that it doesn't change in price. So the only way that it can catch up in terms of value is by getting more supply, right? And the only way to get more supply is for you to sell the Ethereum. And that is what the protocol is doing. The protocol will sell and sell and sell Ethereum such that there is more and more USDC because the Ethereum gets sold for USDC. So in effect, what happens is that as Ethereum price climbs up, you are selling a little bit of Ethereum so that the USDC value will catch up with Ethereum. Right? And this is what they call impermanent loss. Impermanent loss is that if another way to talk about impermanent loss is that if I put in a certain amount, uh, another way to describe impermanent loss is the difference in value if I had just held both tokens without liquidity provision, or if I had taken these both tokens and put them into a liquidity provision like Uniswap and then take them out after that, what is the value? So if the value of me just holding is higher, then you would have suffered impermanent loss. Right? You're better off just holding the tokens instead of doing liquidity provision. That's the point. Right? And now you understand how you get the impermanent loss. It's because the value of one token didn't move as fast as the value of the other token in a percentage basis. All right. I can write all this down, but I'm really lazy today. It's Sunday. So if you don't understand, just like rewatch the video. Go to accounts is also quite interesting. Yeah, okay, but never mind. So then the idea is that any questions? Let's see. Armor to the moon. Okay, no. Where are my... Yeah, any questions on Uniswap? So when you're doing liquidity provision, right, if you put in WBTC and Ethereum if you pool WBTC and Ethereum, right, the receipt that they give you is what you can use to go and farm. So if you go to markets and then farm, right, and then search for Uniswap, yeah, let's search for Uni. Uniswap has no more farming. Maybe they ended. All right, then we go for sushi first, and then after that we go through the sushi part. So sushi is basically the same idea. The only difference I think between Uniswap and sushi is the roots, right? Uniswap came first, and then SushiSwap copied it, and then Uniswap is like created by some guys that are backed by VCs, so on and so forth, and SushiSwap is kind of like community-driven alternative. So SushiSwap, you go to sushiswap.fi, which is like their newer page. Accept update. And first thing you take note is like, hey, SushiSwap, even though they copied, like their liquidity is chasing up with Uniswap, right? So it's impressive. Uniswap was 3.8 billion and SushiSwap is at 3.1 billion. All right, and then we connect to our wallet. Always start off by connecting your wallet. Okay, so now we've logged in. And SushiSwap is also the same idea, right? It looks very similar to Uniswap. So let's just like select this one. Say, what were we swapping just now? DAI and USDC. Okay, never mind. Come here, look for USDC. Can't believe they don't have USDC. And then copy the contract. Where's my USDC? Ta-da! Okay, and 1 million. So if you remember, like, if you swapping Uniswap, sorry, if you swapping DAI to USDC, then you wanna make sure that, of course, like money is money, right? So you wanna make sure that you go to the broker, you go to the exchange that gives you the most money, right? And so here the price impact takes away like $25,000, right? That's your slippage, $25,000. You go to Uniswap, they take away like $20,000. So just like the protocol is gonna save you $5,000, but of course you're gonna end up in Curve, because Curve gives you like way more, right? So this is one thing, right? If you want to do swaps, and then the same idea, if you want to add liquidity into SushiSwap, you come here plus liquidity. You select again, same idea, two tokens, so Ethereum and WBTC, for example, and then one WBTC is about 24 Ethereum. Okay, then you click this red button here, and you would have added your liquidity. Okay. When you add WBTC and Ethereum, right, you will get a receipt, and the receipt will look something like this here. It will be called WBTC Ethereum SLP. SLP stands for Sushi Liquidity Provision, right? This is the old website, Sushiswap Classic. So we're just gonna connect and take a look. Connect, right? And then you can use the old website, you can use the new website. It doesn't really matter. I usually use this one because classic. And then once you have WBTC Ethereum, so for example, you have already added in your one WBTC and 24 Ethereum into the network, right? You have liquidity provided. The next thing is that you now will have some form of number over here, right? Because you now would have this amount of, you would have some amount of WBTC and Ethereum, all right? And then you can approve the WBTC Ethereum SLP, which is Sushi Liquidity Provision Receipt, all right? And then you can farm it. So this is just to approve it. When you approve, this is what happens. You gotta pay to approve it. I'm not gonna do it. And then after that, you can farm. Farming on Sushi you go to farm, right? Usually it's one of those names, right? You go to any website, they will say like something like farm, right? You go and search for the pair that you have, WBTC and Ethereum, which is this one, right? You can approve staking here. So this approve staking would be the same as this approve staking, right? It's just different interface, but same idea. You click approve staking, comes up, you pay, and then it brings you on to the next page, and you're done. And then what you would be earning though is you would be earning two components. The first component is the transaction fee between WBTC and Ethereum. So as people are trading WBTC and Ethereum on Sushiswap, you as a liquidity provider earn a very small proportion of that every single day. It increases. Okay, but this is not very visible. You don't really see it. Right? It's not very visible because the price of WBTC and Ethereum are jumping around all the time. But you do know that as you come out, you're gonna have more of it. The second thing you earn is because you are farming. You now earn farming rewards, and in this case, for all farming rewards on this page, you earn sushi. All right. So let's go and see a graphical idea of someone that's actually doing this. So this guy, our demo account, he's liquidity providing $2.8 million worth of tokens into Sushiswap. And then you can see that these are the pools. And the first thing you notice is that all the pools have only two components, right? Because this is exactly how its AMM works. Right, so they're farming UMA, Ethereum, Cream, Ethereum, DPI, Ethereum, YEM, Ethereum, Index, Ethereum, Rendosh, Ethereum, NCT, Ethereum. The reason why all of them are using Ethereum is because everyone decided like, hey, let's all just connect to Ethereum. So it's like hubs and spoke system, right? It's a hub and spoke system in the sense that if I want to switch, right, between DAI and USDC, look at the route. The route, right, is where your tokens go through, and most of the time they go through Ethereum. So all the DAI changes to Ethereum, and then all the Ethereum to USDC, because everyone realized that hey, it's easier to just use Ethereum as the hub, right, where everything is routed through. That's why when people are providing liquidity, it is most common. Where did I go? When people are providing liquidity, it's the most common that it's always Ethereum, right? The pair is always Ethereum. Which page was I at? Oh, here, right? That's why they all have Ethereum, right? And this, I think, is the main reason why Ethereum prices are going through the roof. Because anytime you want to farm something, right, you always need another component. So even if I'm holding DPI, for example, right, and I want to earn the return on DPI, the return is not so bad, right? I'm earning 10% here. 10% is better than zero. The thing is, to earn the 10%, I need the second component, which is Ethereum. So I need to go and buy some Ethereum so that I can like liquidity provide for DPI Ethereum. And out of this 2.8 million, exactly half of it, $1.4 million, is Ethereum. That's why Ethereum is one of the reasons why I think Ethereum is going through the roof. Right? I think they just hit an all-time high like yesterday or 2 days ago. Okay, so once you farm, providing liquidity is providing liquidity. As an additional bonus for people to provide liquidity, some of these projects they provide a farming result, right? A farming bonus, right? And then for sushi, the farming bonus is called sushi, right? So these are all the sushis that they are earning on top of the liquidity provision profits, right? Each and every one of them here you can see. So how they would realize the profits is that this guy, he can go and collect all these sushis, right? So you can collect it on the page, right? If you had added some stuff, then you would be able to collect something. So you can collect it and then sell it. And if you sell it to Ethereum or you sell it to USDC, you have actual value out of it. Or you can keep the sushi, right, just to hold. Or even better, you can farm the sushi, right, do liquidity provision for the sushi with Ethereum, and then farm this sushi and get even more sushi. The ROI is 73%. Right? I mean, that is if you believe in sushi or any farming bonus for that matter. Right? So you can kind of see like the cyclical effects of farming. Number one is like if you don't mind holding the token, you might as well farm it. Number two is when you farm it, what you're going to receive. Right? And then the third thing is when you receive, what you're going to do with it. So there are a lot of combinations. It's like playing a board game. And the idea is that you want the highest ROI possible with the right amount of risk that you are ready to accept. Right? Mm-hmm. Any questions? So what Sushiswap does is that they allow people to put it in, they give out some bonus, right? And then after a while, they change the bonus to be on other liquidity pairs. So they rotate the bonuses around, trying to keep as much of the liquidity as possible. All right. So now I'm going to show you the bonus farming part. What website is this? Hold on a second. So, where's my farm? Where's my farm? Sushi, 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 sushi. Hedging sushi index. Wait. All right. I'm trying to get to the page where I can show you the farming without doxing myself. So please hold on a second. So this is how it looks like in mine, right? And you see, if you have staked some pair, then you have this option to harvest now. So you harvest your sushi, right? Click harvest now, and then something will pop up, right? And then when there's something pops up, you just click agree, right? You have to be connected to your MetaMask, right? So this is how it will look like on your harvest day. And harvesting is quite important, right? Because you want to harvest uh, once in a while, take the harvest and go do something with it. Maybe sell and realize your profits or whatever you want to do with it, right? Sometimes the bonus is not given to you by Sushiswap or Uniswap, the exchange. Sometimes the bonus is given to you by someone else. So, for example, there's this one called Badger. Right? And Badger, first thing you go in, you click to connect, MetaMask, next, connect. Right? Badger, what they do is they have this token called DIG, right? And DIG you can earn by, where is it? DIG you can earn by liquidity provision on any of these tokens, on any of these receipts, right? So if you have WBTC and Ethereum, right? Which is exactly what we were talking about just now, WBTC Ethereum SLP on the Sushi network. Then you can take the receipt, give it to these guys, right? Give it to these guys and stake it, deposit it, and then stake it, right? So two extra steps. After you do your liquidity provision on Sushi, right? So say, for example, you're here, you did WBC Ethereum, you already added the liquidity, all right? You already have the receipt. You can take this receipt, go to somewhere else, right? And then deposit the receipt and then stake it. And then they will give you their token, another receipt. So basically, it's a receipt of a receipt, right? But there are some risk. The risks are that if you deposit your token to them, right, and then you let them do whatever they want with it, there is a risk that they can run away with it, right? Um, how they can run away with it is like a topic for another day, but they can, right? So you need to kind of like trust them, right? Or just put in for a while, get the crazy ROI, and then run away. Because they can only do it once, right? They can only take it from you once. The moment they take it, everybody knows. Then it's a rug pull. Everyone's like, oh, they're doing bad stuff. But yeah, so it's like the dodgy ones. You have to be worried about that, right? So you can just hold a receipt by yourself. Go and farm in one of the respectable places. So if you go farm in like a respectable place, you can just sleep well. But if you want to like farm in a more YOLO place where the returns are like 600%, go for it. Just know that there are risks. Right? And then in some case, they explain to you where the 600% ROI is, right? 512% comes from the really 512% comes from the trading um, trading fee earned from trading WBTC and DIG, which is another component on Sushi, and then 4.6% comes from Sushi, and then 166% comes from DIG, which is the third thing that they are airdropping to you. All right. And why would Badger, come up with this kind of thing is that Badger is, or usually projects, they want to be like fairly distributing their token to say that, hey, we are really decentralized, right? So they can't just like airdrop it to their friends and family, right? They need to find a really decentralized way to spread their token. And so most of them go through this method. Right? Most of them go through this method of like, hey, if you liquidity provide for another protocol well, which is really well respected, then yeah, we're gonna distribute your token. Yeah. So if you have any questions, please ask now. I'm gonna adjust my air condition. Should I swap sushi on Sushiswap or buy train exchange? So David, to swap sushi on Sushiswap or buy train exchange, you wanna go to CoinGecko. First, it depends on how much money, how much you're buying. If you're buying really small amounts, small I mean like less than $5,000, then you should buy through a centralized exchange because centralized exchanges don't have those fees. If you swap on Uniswap, right? Let me show you how much it is to swap on Uniswap right now. My computer is slow. Hold on. Hotel internet is slow. Sushi. So here, this is mine, right? My personal one. If you're gonna swap like Ethereum for sushi here, right? So the price impact is low, but the fees are already higher, 0.6%. And then if you click swap, right? Confirm swap. Look at the fees, man. They're nuts, right? Oh, now it's okay, $23. So $23 just for the Ethereum transaction, and then you have to pay 0.6% to Uniswap liquidity providers. So all in all, I think it may be cheaper to just buy it from a centralized exchange once, pay their transaction fee, and then pay the withdrawal fee to withdraw it to your MetaMask. Yes. The second question, staking versus adding liquidity. So adding liquidity is the first step. Then staking is the second step, right? Staking meaning like farming, right? Staking and farming kind of synonymous here. So adding liquidity is the first step, and staking is the second step, right? Do the actions lock you in for a certain amount of time? By right, no. You can put it in and take it out straight away, but you wouldn't do that because to put it in takes so much steps that you have to pay all the trading fees. All the Ethereum processing fees, right? The gas fees. So you have to put it in, wait until it earns you more interest such that it makes sense for you to take it out. Don't forget that at every single step, right? Adding liquidity, staking, claiming your bonus, selling your bonus, they all cost money because we're on the Ethereum network. So the best thing to do is just to put like a lump sum into a protocol that you trust and leave it there to farm the tokens. And then once you're done with it, take out everything and then take the farm tokens and do whatever you want with it. But do it once. You can do it once a day or twice a day if you have a huge amount of money in it, but usually it doesn't make sense to keep claiming it because the claiming costs money. Right? It really depends on how much you put in. If you put in $5 million for each farm, then sure, the $20 gas fee is not anything close, right? But if you only put in $5,000, then you may have to wait a couple of days before it makes sense for you to take before you take your tokens out again. Then the last question: who starts these liquidity pool? Any user can start a liquidity pool. That's why it is good and dangerous at the same time. It's good because power to the people. Everybody can start. If I want people to be able to purchase my token, I just have to put in like a lot of Ethereum and a lot of my token, and then liquidity pool is live, right? Everybody can trade it. Um, the bad thing is that anybody can do it, right? So any scammer can put in some scam tokens and convince people to buy and then run away after that. And how they run away is that they produce the token, right? So they just chuck in a lot of this token, take out the Ethereum and run away with the Ethereum, right? So that's called a rug pull. Rug pull is like basically somebody pulls the rug under your feet and then you hurt. Yeah. So that exact action is called rug pull. Mm-hmm. So now we know how to get it done. Let's learn which one we should go and do the farming with. Same idea, CoinGecko, markets, farms. Come to the farm and then check out, say right now we have WBTC and Ethereum. That is our pair, right? We have WBTC, we have Ethereum, and we don't know where to put them. Should we put them in Sushi? Should we put them in Uni? Should we even put them in Curve? This symbol is Curve. Right? What shall we farm? Blah blah blah. So I type WBTC because I already assume most of the time correctly that Ethereum is the other half, right? So WBTC, I look at my choices, I look at the returns. Wow, sick returns. Woo, 1 inch, 800%. What? Yeah, so you can put in your WBTC and Ethereum if here in the pool it says WBTC and Ethereum. So like this one says WBTC Ethereum and it says 1 inch. And just so happen 1 inch is the next thing that we are supposed to be talking about. So now I'm curious, right? I want to know how 1 inch can give 800% yearly return on WBTC and Ethereum because that would be sick, right? I think they are giving the return based on the 1 inch token. And I think it is so high because 1 inch token has just been flying through the roof. So let's look at the 1 inch token. Yeah, not bad. right? Look at the price of 1 inch in the last 30 days. What happened? This is not 30 days. This is 30 days. So 1 inch, maybe they created this liquidity program to give out like 100% APY at the start, and then as it continues, because the farming bonus is 1 inch, and because the price of 1 inch is going up, then the APY also increases. Woohoo. So it started off at about $1, and now it's at five something. So you can only imagine the APY. Ta-da! So yeah, let's go take a look. Click this, the second one. The first one gets you to the item that you're going to receive as farming bonus. The second link gets you there straight away, which is really comfortable. So the idea about 1 inch is that 1 inch is a DEX aggregator. Means they aggregate all the other DEX like Uniswap, Curve.fi, Sushiswap all together, and then they find out like where is the best place for you to change your tokens, right? Um, and sometimes they will split it up. So for example, if I want to switch DAI USDC, right? They're routing it entirely through Curve, okay? But they kind of tell you like if you do it through Shell, through Swerve, these are the kind of the slippage that you're gonna get. All right. So it's like an aggregator. It aggregates all the different dexes for the two tokens that you want to swap. All right. And then just one look, you can see kind of the liquidity of each exchange. All right. Like here you have like minus 78%. That's not very good. But it differs from pair to pair. So for example, I want to change WBTC to Ethereum, right? And I want to change, oh, that's a lot of WBTC. So I want to change like 20,000 Bitcoins. Okay, maybe too much. 2,000 Bitcoins, right? Look. So this is where Uniswap is the best. Sorry, not Uniswap is the best. This is where 1inch does the best. Is that when you want to switch like a big amount of tokens, they will route it through several exchanges. They're like, oh, look, dude, you have 2,000 Bitcoins that you want to swap, right? So we're gonna swap like put 2,000 Bitcoins. We're gonna put like 77.5% of it. We're gonna do it this way, go through WEF, and then it ends up as ETH. And even through WEF, it's Rep Ethereum. There are like these amount of places are being used. Right, you go through Ethereum, blah blah blah. Bancor token even. Wow. Right. So you're basically getting like able to move a huge amount of tokens without KYC. You move a huge amount of tokens without KYC, without any form of like permission, like no broker, right? You go through 1inch. 1inch is going to search for the best place for you to do the switch, or best places for you to do the switch, and then they will execute everything for you. So this is all amazing, except the gas fees are insane, man. So the gas fees, because it's going through so many actions, look at the estimated gas fee. $600 is the estimated gas fee, which is more often than not, I tell you, it's about $1,000. It's actually much higher, right? But they don't care because if you're trading 2,000 Bitcoin, then what is $600? This is the amount of money you save from slippage, right? So 1inch has become very popular because of this. The second thing that 1inch is cool with is that when you're swapping with automated market makers like Sushiswap and Uniswap, you realize that you don't just put a limit order and then you wait. You can't. Every single swap on Uni and on Sushiswap cannot be limit orders. They have to be market orders. The difference is the limit order, you put a price, you leave it there, and when the price touches your order, it exchanges. Right? So there's like an order book. Uni and Sushiswap, when you put in an order, you are executing at the current price. There is no waiting. Right? You're executing at that current price. Right? So 1inch allows you to do like a limit order. I haven't tried this, So I can't really give you, because usually when I do limit orders, I just do it on a centralized exchange, right? It's much simpler. So if you want to see 1-inch farming protocol, usually the farming protocols will be either called farm or DAO or something. So in this case, it's called DAO. You click DAO, you go to pools, liquidity pool. So 1-inch is also an exchange, right? So they also have liquidity pools for you to put in Ethereum WBTC. You put in. How to read this when there is a plus is that the first one tells you how much you're going to make from the pool, from the liquidity pool that's naturally occurring from the exchanges that is happening between Ethereum and WBTC. And then the second one is the APY you receive from farming, right? So in this case, you're farming like 35%. All right. Oh, let's see, what's this? So this one is special, Ethereum Opium. And Ethereum Opium, they have three. Right? So the first one is from the pool. The second one is 1-inch farming. So 1-inch incentivized, like created a farming bonus incentivization program. And then the third one is opium farming as well. So you're earning three different components, which is not bad. In total, that would be 200 something percent per year. Yeah. So remember we were talking about Armor. Armor is also here. Armor, Ethereum, so on and so forth. All right. And then once you put it into the pool, don't forget, after you put into the pool, after you add liquidity, you always need to farm as well. That's an additional step. So you have to go to farming, all right? Deposit your receipt, so you can see the receipt of how its name is 1LP, so 1-inch liquidity provision. 1-inch and Ethereum are the two components. Same goes for all the other stuff. All right. So once you deposit, most of the time they allow you to easily claim. You click the claim button, you can claim. Yeah, you click the claim button, you can claim. Then if you want to withdraw, you can withdraw, so on and so forth. Yes. Oh. Today is 7th February. So 7th February, they changed the pool, they changed the program. So troublesome. So now I have like so troublesome. So I might as well show you. So this is my 1-inch. I was playing around with it because they gave me an airdrop. So I was like, yeah, sure. I took the stuff to go airdrop. So then these are the stake. This is like the total stake that you have inside. And then you can exit. $100 gas fee. Shit. Oh man. How much is gas fees now? Why is it so 95? It's not so bad actually, 95. I mean, today's Sunday. Monday is gonna be way higher. I may do it. I may do it. But my reward is 365 and my gas fee is $100. 咋整呢 So broken. So I will have to think like, if I take it out, then I need to put it into somewhere new, right? So I need to put it into like a new place with more APY. Here the APY is 130%. 35% is not so high. Do it, yeah, okay. Who is Heel Flapper? Making me spend money in silly ways. Okay, so now I'm gonna do this one first then. This one is like Ethereum WBTC. Yeah, I have to do it sooner or later anyway. And now the prices are low. 495. $100 to get 495. Oh, so sour. I'm doing it, I'm doing it. Wait, I need to allow the 2FA. Okay, so let me reject. Wait, let me check one more time. I hate paying gas fees, man. 495. The thing is that sometimes you can. The thing is sometimes you can, like, if say you want to exit and claim, right? You can adjust the gas fees lower, right? So now it's at 106. I can adjust it to like 50, to like 80, and just wait till the time that 80 happens, right? Wait till like the network is not so busy, and then hopefully my 80 gas price transaction would go through. The thing is that, now I'm thinking in my head, would it even go down to 80 when like Ethereum network is being used so much now? That's the first thing. Second thing is that if it involves the weights, two different weights of an item, then you need it to go through immediately. If not, it will fail. Right? So for example, Ethereum is $1,600 to USDC. Right? So if you swap Ethereum now to USDC, the prices actually matter. And when the prices actually matter, you need to swap it as soon as possible. Because the moment Ethereum becomes like $1,800, nobody will swap with you, right? To only collect 1,600 USDT. So then you will have a failed transaction. And I think when you fail the transaction, you still pay the transaction fee, right? So that's even worse. You pay the $100 transaction fee, and then you don't even get it done, right? The failed transactions. So I'm thinking now in this case, would I be able to lower the gas fees, and would the transaction still fail? I don't think the transaction will fail, because in this case I am just withdrawing something, um, and I am not interacting with the prices. So actually I can be a cheapskate and like save $15-20, but that also means I have to wait probably like a few hours or something. You can kind of check. They used to have a graph here. I don't know where the graph went. Um, yeah, so you can kind of check. Etherscan. Oh. So low would be like 16 minutes. Yeah, we can wait 16 minutes. I'm gonna put low then. I'm gonna put 91. Save. Yeah, okay, let's go again. Reject. And then exit and withdraw. All right, edit, advance, change it, 92, $87. Oh, confirm, paying $87 in gas fees. Done. So now the transaction is submitted, and I just have to wait, right? And then once I get it out, I will get my stake out, and then I'll also get my reward out, right? And then the idea is that I get these out, and then I put them in to the active farm. I don't know why it's so silly that you have to do it like this. I put it into the active farm, or I can take it out entirely and go and farm something else. So now that I have my WBTC Ethereum out, might as well. Where is the where's the browser? Where's the browser? Now that I have my Ethereum and WBTC, taken out, let's go and look through the farms now to see where I can put it in. I can put it in Sushi, earn 35% return, 34% return. I can put it. Okay, let's do it by returns and see. So 1 inch is still the best. I think. Oh, I think a lot of people haven't moved it yet. That's why the returns are so high. Because most people are still in the expired one, they haven't moved into the active one yet. So even though like you're expected to earn about 100 something percent, because nobody like the amount of expected hasn't been put in yet. So if you're early enough, you actually make this crazy amount of returns, which is like what 0.09% per hour. Oh, yeah. I can put it in alpha. So alpha is a little bit different. Alpha is basically leverage farming, right? You have these components and then they do some magic and you have leverage farming. The thing about leverage though is that there is a chance that you lose all your money as well. You like lose your collateral. So that will be a class for a different day. I have to go and figure it out as well, like the mathematics behind it. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna put it back into the 1 inch. The returns are the best. Okay. So that's that for 1 inch. We've gone through 1 inch. We've gone through LP tokens, which are these tokens that we're talking about. Farming with LP tokens, we have what to farm. Basically, just showed you a case study of what to farm. Just come here and then find out yourself. And then rug pool, we've gone through it. So yeah, I think we've gone through everything that we need to know to do like yield farming, liquidity provision, and yield farming. If you're like confused like halfway through, you're confused like, hey, I put something somewhere and I don't know where my token is anymore, right? Go to the bank and type in your address. So go to the bank, right? Go all the way up here, click connect wallet, and then connect your wallet. And then they will show you like exactly where your tokens are or what stage your tokens are at. So for example, sushi here, right? Okay, oh, my DPI and Ethereum are already here. You know how much they're earning, so on and so forth. If you lost your token in any way, you don't see it in your wallet anymore, just go to the bank and everything will be much clearer. So these ones, they're all under farm, you see, right? It's under farm. But sometimes, you forget, you put it under pool, which is one step below farm. Right? You haven't farmed it yet. You just put it under pool. Then just remember, like you come to the bank, always when you're done with it, come to the bank and check if you have managed to reach the optimum strategy for the stuff that you're trying to get done. Right? So like for this one, I think it's intentional that he left it in pool because he earns 21%. But maybe if he puts it into a farm somewhere, he makes like 500%. So just be aware of it, and that's how you be aware of it, the bank. Another website that's really good is called Zapper, Zapper.fi. Same idea, right? Let me copy my demo. I repeat, please don't send anybody to come and kidnap me. This is not my account. I don't have $200 billion. How much money is this? I don't have $710 million, right? This is not my account. This guy is really famous on Twitter, right? So you put your address here, you click let's go on Zapper.fi. Same idea, right? Just a different kind of they show it to you differently. So we can kind of look at what this guy is doing. Total assets $676 million. He borrowed debt, so the total net worth is 400 plus. This is what is in his wallet. Interesting. Oh, he has a lot of stable coin. Interesting. And then these are his deposits. So deposits are like basically where did he put his tokens to receive stuff. That was in episode 2, right? Masterclass 2, where these are the stuff that he has put in. So for example, he has put Ethereum in Alpha Homura. This is Alpha. He put Link in Aave, so you get a link as the receipt. He puts Ethereum in Compound. DAI means you put Ethereum or whatever, and then he used the Maker program. What is this? I think this is Mirror. Is it Mirror? This may be Mirror. He puts all this stuff in Mirror. This is Buncor, yeah, clearly it's Buncor. So one thing to take note look at this guy. He's actually lending way more than anything else. Right? That's why lending was in episode 2. Actually, lending is really important. Let's look at his liquidity pools. So these are the ones that he's just earning the transaction fees. Wow. It's a lot of link swap. I think we need to go and look at link swap. There must be a lot of money to be made there. Oh, that's Keeper DAO. Oh, I didn't know that you can put stuff into Keeper DAO. Should really start looking into Keeper DAO. I think this is the first class where I have to drink 2 beers. Oh yeah, you're right. It is Keeper DAO. Look, the rook is here. Yeah, the logo. Wow, look at the amount of money he has. Okay, and then staked means like, the second step. So liquidity provision and then staked, right? So basically stake is like, we can see what he's trying to earn. He's earning like Badger, Dig, CRV, Sushi, Uni, Farm, Uni. And actually this tells you a lot because like, where are the whales farming? The thing is that the whales, I usually follow the whales addresses because whales, they have an army of auditors, right? What they do is like before they put in $100 million into an account, into a protocol, I'm sure they check the code again and again and again, and they get like an army of people to check the code. Still, you get hacked. I know this account got hacked from Harvest Finance, right? So they did lose some money, but there is, like I said, there's strength in numbers, like safety in numbers. And then you go to yield farming. So this is his yield, right? This is his crop, his bonuses. What is he earning, right? He's earning, wow, claimable ample. Woo. So this is what he's earning, right? You don't know how often he clears them, but maybe this is in a day or something like that. And then he earns like $300,000 worth of ample claimable comp, claimable CRV. Right? So these are all the stuff that he's getting for yield. I've never heard of this. Oh, Esmond, look, he's doing armor as well. Quite small though. Yeah, yeah. See his debt, kind of the stuff that he borrows. Quite standard. People usually borrow like a lot of stable coins, right? But in this case, he also borrows Ethereum. Yeah, man, he has more ample than my net worth as well, man. Wait, how much ample does he have? Now, come on, man. For sure, your net worth is more. Yeah, so it's so I look at the debt sometimes to find out like what people are up to. Try to figure out like what he's up to. Yeah. Insurance. Oh, he even bought insurance. So you can buy insurance on protocols. Maybe that will be a really quick lesson in the next few ones. Is that like, if the protocol get hacked, then you get some form of return, right? So usually the yield and the insurance price, like they add up to more or less the same, but sometimes you have this perfect, like it doesn't add up to the same, then you make this crazy amount of alpha because there's no way you lose in any way, right? Your crops are being insured, so no matter what happens, you're going to make this amount of money, like free alpha. You just got to wait until like the time is done, right? So like really free alpha. If anything, this class is just alpha after alpha. On Zappa.fi, you can also, like, there are two ways to see stuff, right? So this is one way. Then you can see what he's up to. So in this case, he has a lot of stuff in synthetics, SNX. Yeah, so you can open and then you can see like what his SNX is doing, his collateral ratio, yada yada yada. Or say compound, you open compound, you can see like, okay, he's supplied Ethereum, WBTC, and DAI, and he's borrowed like this. And this would work for you as well, right? So it's like a balance sheet, your balance sheet. So what were we talking about? Ample, right? Where is his Ample? How does he even claim Ample? Link swap. I really have to check this out. He owns the entire pool. What the hell? He owns the entire pool for like 5 pools. Wow. So link swap, huh? We need to go find out about link swap. Cream. Cream is the lending protocol that we went through yesterday, the last time. Keep a DAO. I don't understand as well. Okay, so this is one way you can see it, or you can click here, switch view, and then it switches to kind of like a expanded sheet version. Maybe you prefer this. I prefer the other way. This one's a little bit messy. All right, and then everything's out for you. Yeah. And then yeah, it's a lot of cool stuff you can see. You can see like how diversified you are. Maybe you want to keep only 5% on each platform, so blah blah blah, or like maybe like, you can just do whatever you want here. So yeah, this ends it. This ends it. If you have any questions, please ask now. If not, I'm gonna end in like 1 or 2 minutes. And then the next lesson we will go through. Let's see what we should go through. The next lesson we will probably go through some of the more obscure protocols, or we go through some of the L2 stuff. Right? I will think of something. So the next lesson we'll probably go through, stable coins. Let's go through algorithmic stable coins. That one is really fun. Yeah, so the next class we're going to go through algorithmic stablecoins. We'll look at the mathematics behind the algorithmic stablecoins, and like some people got really, really rich with algo stablecoins in the last bull run. I mean, insane. I've seen some addresses where they're only holding stablecoins and yet they're making so much money. I also know a Singaporean guy that I met in a bar, and I asked him, oh, so what do you buy now? And he was like, oh, I only hold stable coins. I was like, well, this guy's an idiot. And then I realized that this guy is only holding algo stable coins and he's made so much money. This guy is also still in university. So algo stable coins is also another way that you can get alpha. So the next class we will probably go through algo stable coins such as Ample, Frax, ESD. Yeah, there are quite a few of them. I just don't know their names now. DeFi list, DeFi market, so on and so forth. Yeah, and then if we have time, maybe I'll also go through some of the L2 protocols, right, and then explain what is L1 and L2. What else? There's also like options. You can do on-chain options. Right, and on-chain options, you can use them for insurance or you can use them for leverage, right? What else can we do? Yeah, more than enough for now. And then we will go and look at the other protocols, the like supportive protocols, I call them. So it's with these protocols that the other protocols work, right? So we're talking about like Link, Keeper, Wi-Fi, so on and so forth. Yeah, index. Yeah. Next lesson is after CNY. Yeah, I hope so, man. Can I go to work later on? Because I need to watch Super. You can go to work anytime you want, dude. Nobody cares. You are the highest rank in the office. So, uh, it's Super Bowl today. How do I watch? I also want to watch. I want to watch the advertisements. I like the advertisements. Yeah. All right. So thank you very much for attending today. Um, and I will see you the next time. If you have any questions, you know how to reach me. Cool. Bye bye.